It's time once again for That Business Show with Jamie and Kelly. That Business Show gives a voice to Tampa Bay's entrepreneurial community and highlights our community leaders, aiming to inspire and educate our listeners. Become a part of the entrepreneurial movement today by becoming a member of the Tampa Bay Business Owners and get your brand on air today. Visit TampaBayRadio.com for more information. All shows available on demand. Now, here are your hosts, Jamie and Kelly.
Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to That Business Show with Jamie and Kelly, where business becomes show business. We're here Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m., and also video stream available over at TampaBayRadio.com. Kelly Wilson, owner of Edge Business Community, Edge Business Magazine, alongside me each and every morning now. Kelly Wilson, good morning to you.
Good morning. Good morning. Happy Thursday.
And also a reminder of this afternoon, we're doing a workshop, a TBBO workshop on podcasting, how to drive business or drive traffic to your business via podcasting. And so that's a free event for Tampa Bay business owner members. And if you would like to attend that, send us a message, use the contact form over at TampaBayRadio.com.
It's going to be a great workshop today.
Yes, we'll have Dave Jackson from Libsyn in the theater room up front there giving the workshop. And for people that aren't familiar with that, Libsyn is...
I was just going to ask that. Thank you.
It is kind of the premier place for podcasters to host their material and develop an app and content and all this stuff. And it's a really interesting company that is formed as a result of all these podcasts that are coming onto the market now. And so Dave Jackson will be sharing a lot of tips and secrets on how to develop your podcast and get it out to iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, all those places where you can also find That Business Show in addition to the AM band each and every morning here in Tampa, Florida.
Is there a fee to use the Libsyn?
Yes, there is. It depends on the amount of content. So there is essentially a storage fee when you upload your audio files up to them. You'll pay a certain amount per megabyte. It's roughly, for the average podcast, are going to cost them about $20 a month, depending on
bad.
if they're just doing, basic 1 hour or show once a week or something, which is kind of average.
Especially for someone just starting out. That's reasonable.
Yes, I finally just connected with them last month. I had 450 episodes to send up to them, so it was...
that might have taken a while.
Yeah, it took a little bit of time and work and everything. But yeah, so before that, I was hosting it on my own server. But the advantage of Libsyn is it'll track the views or the downloads to the different services. And so we're going to learn all about that this afternoon from Dave Jackson. So again, that
Sounds
workshop
good.
Going on this afternoon from 1 to about 5 o'clock at the iHeartMedia station located at 4002 West Gandy Boulevard. So we're going to be talking with Adella Pasos in this, or Pasos, I should say, in this edition of the That Business Show. She is a model and entrepreneur and has worked with startups, small businesses, and Fortune 500 companies on marketing. And so, Adella, we welcome you into the program this morning.
Thank you.
Welcome.
So, and you are originally from Chicago, moved to Tampa 4 years ago. Just tell us a little about yourself and your career as it is now.
Yeah, so I'm a business owner. I own a marketing company called Brand X Squared, helpyoubrand.com. And I've been in Tampa Bay for about 4 years. I love it. Amazing weather, amazing people. I've got a lot of good clients here. So this town has, helped me a lot.
What do you think
It's a little warmer than Chicago.
Yeah.
I saw something on Drudge Report. It was like minus 30 wind chill in Chicago this morning.
It's
the
freezing cold.
windy city overall as well. So
And we're blessed to be here. Like the weather's just amazing. It's outstanding.
So what drove you out of Chicago into Tampa? What did you like about Tampa?
So I had been working with a few magazines down here and being published in swimsuit magazines. You're always, have to be in warm weather. So I just moved here on a whim because I wanted to differentiate, a living.
Now, were you a model first and then an entrepreneur slash consultant?
I had started my business back in college. So early college is when I started my business, and I started doing business plans for different companies, people I network with. I say, hey, give me a chance. I would like to show you a different way to strategize and grow your business. So somewhere through college, I just kept growing the business and developing it. And
were you in school to study business?
I do. I have an MBA. Okay. So I went through my undergrad and then MBA. And through that time, I kind of learned a lot and developed the skills to help other people.
So you're ready to go right there and call. You weren't waiting for graduation.
Right. I wasn't.
That's smart. I mean, that's
waiting.
Good. Tell me about. It sounds like you're an entrepreneur. Then since you're a young lady and everything. What was your? Can you remember your first entrepreneurial experience?
So my background. My background was as a graphic designer. So as a young child, I used to love to draw and do graphics. And then for some reason, like I knew that was going to be like my niche. That was my thing, that I wanted to do graphics. And then it kind of molded into marketing and helping companies grow through like visual communication. So that's kind of the background of where it started. Yeah.
Now you talk about
modeling came on a little bit later.
Okay, so that was post MBA work.
It was more or less because some of my clients wanted me to be the face of their brand as well. So that's kind of where it kind of molded in, as well as networking events. I work with people to help set up huge celebrity events, and so when you're in that arena, you're also into modeling and fashion and all that different stuff.
So what area do you enjoy most? The consulting, the modeling, a mixture of
I
everything?
have a heart for business. Like I literally love helping people and seeing the excitement that they have when they make more money.
And seeing the business grow, I would think, as it gets off and gets
they
going.
hire more people, they have more revenue coming in. It's outstanding. So
now you talk about the power of believing in yourself.
Yes.
Talk to the community about that, because I think so many people doubt their abilities.
Yeah, so there's a lot of people that I work with, a lot of startups particularly, that they go through things like little setbacks and failures, and they have a hard time believing in themselves. And there's even people that are really, really afraid to start a business because they just don't believe in their abilities, But literally, I'm here to tell you that all you have to do is believe in your abilities. And if you believe in yourself, then other people will believe in you. Like if you're an employee, your boss is not going to believe in you if you don't believe in yourself. Or as an entrepreneur, how are you going to get your idea sold if you don't even believe in it or your ability to make it happen?
Now, you as anybody else, I imagine, has faced challenges in your business. I mean, how do you push through these challenges when they, are in front of you in your business?
I think a concrete, solid piece of advice would be to, if you're having an issue, to reach out to whomever you can reach out to get the problem solved. So maybe it's not in your mind to figure out exactly how to get it solved. You don't know how, but start reaching out to people, friends, family. There's lots of business mentors online. There's so many people that are out there to help you.
Did you use a mentor or a coach or a consultant?
I had a couple. Some of my business clients have been mentors on how, to develop the steps to move forward and grow your business. So I guess they're a pretty crucial part of my development.
Now, as part of your services include consulting, or is it more of just a marketing type of a role?
It does. It includes consulting for different stages and different levels. So your startups, your mid-sized businesses, and then your large corporations. I've worked with all of them. So it does include consulting.
And I noticed you're pretty active on social media since connecting here on the program.
I am.
Do you attest a lot of your success to being active on social media to the degree that you are?
I do. I have different followings. So through modeling, I have a lot of men, right? I have a whole bunch of men that follow me. Through business, I also have a bunch of men and women, but the segment is different. So I speak a lot about business online and how to grow your business, how to start businesses, e-commerce, business automation. And I have like a big following from that. So I'm very, very active, always online.
Now, I see you've launched a book series for entrepreneurs, and you have a book coming out. Tell us a little bit about this.
So I have a book. It's called How to Make Money Online, The Ultimate Playbook for Success. And basically, it's a book that kind of outlines strategies that help people grow their businesses. It's kind of like all of the information that I took from big brands and boiled it down so that little brands and startups can have that same power to grow their business.
Which website is that on? So you've got multiple websites there.
It's not fixed.
Okay. You have askadella.com. And
it is, yeah. So askadella.com is going to be a full-blown website for tools to help you grow your business. And it's kind of, the theme of it is strategy. So like marketing strategy is what you're going to get. A bunch of guides, a bunch of tutorials, a bunch of help.
So what is step one then?
far.
Yeah.
So what is step one when we're working with you on starting a business? Where do you start with the basic?
So I like to find out where they are with the business. So it's either they're in the idea phase. I have a really good idea, but I don't know how to take it to the next level. Or some people, they already have the existing business and they don't know how to drive more growth. Or you have people that are in a decline and they've had a big business, but now it's crumbling. So they're like, how do I get that stability back? So with me, it's kind of taking it one step at a time and kind of looking at the big picture. Hey, what's going on here? So we can like dissect it and figure it out.
Move forward.
Yeah.
Now, you also talk about how to launch a successful business online. A lot of businesses today, they're not going to survive if they're not online, especially if they're service-based. And I was looking at your websites. You got 3 of them, by the way, askadella.com, adellapasos.com, and brandme at askadella.com. So for people that are starting up a business and starting to put it online, what are some tips for them for launching online?
So launching online is pretty simple. There are a lot, and I did have a stat. It's something like 54% of the physical existing businesses in the whole world don't have a website. They're not online. So there's so much potential to have these businesses move online to make more money or to just get more brand exposure.
Yeah, those are high statistics. You wouldn't think it would be that high in today's. With everyone should have a website.
But think about it. There's so many like small businesses where, their bread and butter is literally like that brick and mortar business. Like that's what it is. So they don't really care about going online as of now. It hasn't been that important.
They don't really see beyond that.
Yeah. So first steps, get with a platform like Shopify if you're going to sell. Makes it really easy for small businesses to get started selling products instantly and handle the payment processing system.
Now, you want to have a platform that can automate your business too. I know a lot of people out there like Infusionsoft, for instance.
Yeah. So I have 3 recommended tools that I recommend for your automating your business. Infusionsoft is a really good one. It's a complete like end-to-end solution. You can capture leads, manage your email marketing.
But it's very difficult to learn, is it not? There's so many different features and functions to it.
It does. It has a whole lot of features and functions, but they have a great training staff that can train you on it.
Okay, so how have you used Infusionsoft then for your business?
So it also helps manage your customer relationship online. So once you hook up Infusionsoft to your website, you pretty much don't have to have like a gigantic sales team because it's doing a lot of the work for you. It's pretty simple integration.
So it's worth I've heard it referred to as Confusionsoft, but I would assume it's worth the confusion.
It is.
As much as people talk about it, it sounds like it's worth it.
Their training team's really good. So if you ever have any hookups or hiccups on it, then they iron it out for you.
Now, what type of company do you like to work with? Do you have a certain niche client that you prefer, or is it anybody that's facing some challenges and needing some marketing guidance?
It's usually everyone, but I would say my favorite would be healthcare and technology. Just because I love technology and I love the innovation. Like I love to see what people are coming up with nowadays, and it's crazy. It's just enormous, and you want to see that growth, from stuff that's like amazing. And then healthcare is so revolutionary where healthcare is like our life, our livelihood. And when people have great healthcare products or something that changes the way we live, I think it's a good thing. Right?
Currently talking to Adella Pasos. She is a model and entrepreneur. And you can learn more about her. She's got multiple websites, askadella.com, adellapasos.com, and brandme at askadella.com. We got another segment with her when we come back from the break on That Business Show with Jamie and Kelly, where business becomes show business.
How many times have you said to yourself, I wish there was an app for that? Stop wishing and start making the world better. Turn your brilliant idea into a profitable business by using Popcorn apps. Their affordable app design will help get your blue sky idea or proven business to the next level at a fraction of the cost of other developers. They will help you get through all the steps needed to make your thoughts become live. See them at popcornapps.com with a K in popcorn, or call them at 727-415-6705 for your free consultation and pop your kernel of an idea into $1 million business and a world changer starting today.
Teresa Turner is a certified public accountant and the founder of Tax Happens, a boutique-style CPA firm providing small businesses and individuals with hands-on, personalized tax and accounting services. Although we would love to tell you how happy their clients are, we would like you to see for yourself. Tax Happens has 21 Google reviews and a 4.8-star Google rating, 17 Yelp reviews and a 5-star Yelp rating, 38 Facebook reviews and a 4.9-star Facebook rating. What sets Tax Happens apart is number 1, upfront pricing, 2, clear deadlines, 3, personally available year-round, and number 4, a willingness to empower clients to do as much or as little as they desire. Visit taxhappens.com for more information.
Have you ever tried to buy a home for your family only to find out that you don't qualify for a mortgage loan? You thought that after 20 years as a customer of your bank, they would help you when you needed it the most, right? Unfortunately, the banks of today are not the banks of our parents and grandparents, and our relationships with them just don't matter anymore. My name is Frank Cotto, and I'm the president of the Lincoln Lending Group. We all may need a bank, but we also need a Frank, and that's what I'm here to do for you today. Lincoln Lending Group will waive all of your lending fees, which include your mortgage, application fee, your underwriting fee, processing fees, and any bank points. Just call 813-MORTGAGE. You drop the E, and we'll drop the fee.
In an age when the good and the better vie for attention, it is the best that stands out. The best of Tampa Bay from Proudly Florida is the love story for the city of Tampa, celebrating success, sharing achievements, a tribute to enterprise and community spirit. Let Proudly Florida showcase your business to your city, your nation, and the world. For more information, email info@proudlyflorida.com and be sure to visit proudlyflorida.com.
Are you in need of new flooring or ready to tackle that home remodeling project? Then contact Yeager & Company Incorporated, a family-owned, state-certified general contracting business with over 70 years of experience and the recipient of the Angie's List Super Service Award for the last 8 years in multiple categories. Yeager & Company comes to you with their shop-at-home flooring sales service, and their hardwood flooring refinishing is the very best in the Bay. Kitchen and bath design featuring American-made, well-born cabinets, and all work is done by employees, not subcontractors. Learn more at YeagerFlooring.com.
Savvy business owners utilize technology to connect with customers, communicate among teams, and collaborate with partners. Even with advances in technology, you all know it's not infallible. Where do you turn when your technology starts working against you? Who do you depend on to keep your team productive? Don't wait until your technology fails you. Get ahead of the crisis and contact the professionals at Alpha Computing Solutions so they can show you how to keep your technology running smoothly. Visit them online at www.alphacomputing.com.
Who doesn't have a smartphone these days? And of course, there's an app for everything. Well, almost everything. That's why the folks at Popcorn Apps started developing mobile applications. They saw people like you with genius ideas, unable to make those thoughts a reality. They develop applications for tens of thousands of dollars less than you'll find anywhere else, and will turn your idea into a reality in a matter of just a few months. Think you're not ready? Think again. They are your one-stop shop for mobile application development. See them at popcornapps.com with a K in popcorn, or call them at 727-415-6705 for your free consultation and pop your kernel of an idea into $1 million business and a world changer starting today.
From the RP Funding Traffic Network.
Serious crash has northbound I-75 closed at State Road 60. All traffic being diverted off now because of a crash north of Dr. King. So definitely consider northbound US 301 or the Selman Expressway to get around this area. Even before that, like say Big Bend or Gibsonton Drive, consider exiting off there and using northbound US 41. See traffic problems? Call the injury firm of Abrahamson Udrich, Hillsborough. Traffic tip line 866-545-9595.
This report is brought to you by Compassion International. Every child is born with talents, hopes, and dreams, but poverty will steal those dreams. You can help a child find hope when you become their sponsor with Compassion International. Give a child a chance to dream again. Find out how at compassion.com/radio.
Today, some sea fog early, then clearing with a high 76. Cold front moves in for tonight, mostly clear, low 55. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, high 76.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie and Kelly on 1250 Winds WHNZ. Missed the show? Then head over to TampaBayRadio.com, where all shows are available on demand. Once again, here are your hosts, Jamie and Kelly.
Hey, welcome back to That Business Show with Jamie and Kelly, where business becomes show business. Talking with Adella Pasos. She is a model and an entrepreneur and has multiple websites, AdellaPasos.com, AskAdella.com, and brand me at AskAdella.com. Now, Adella, earlier you said you work primarily with men. You said that seems to be what people are attracted to, or men are attracted to because of the modeling shoots. But you also do, consulting and marketing. And how do you weed out, the business, the men that come to you and they think that's going to be a business meeting, and they come to you and they just want to take you out because this is a big problem in business. Because Kelly also has this problem. She'll go out with somebody on a one-on-one meeting, to discuss business, and the man's just going out there really just to ask you out. Talk to the community, talk to the men about this, talk to the women about this. How do you set how do you keep, because it drives me crazy.
I said, if you figure this out, let me know.
No, because I find it very disrespectful to the men or to the women, and it's very just, bad on the men's part that do this. And so what would you say? How do you handle these situations?
Yeah, I think it's pretty, it's human nature. It's prevalent. It happens. You're an attractive woman. That's the first thing they see, right? I think the best advice I can give about that is literally to be straightforward about the fact that you're there for business. You're professional. Keep it professional. Never get into that gray area or arena where you make it seem like there's something more, could be more.
But do you need to put more barriers in place before like a one-on-one meeting, a consultation, to make sure that this person is not just, attracted to me because he sees my picture and, wants to ask me out on a date?
A lot of times when I deal with people, it's a networking event. You meet someone, you exchange a business card, you have a prior call, like a pre-call. So it's, hey, so you're interested in X, Y, and Z. I know you told me that you want to grow your business or you need help with internet marketing. So let's talk a little bit about your challenges before there's a meetup. So it's kind of like a precursor to say, are you really going to be on games, or like, is this business? Like, do you have an issue with your marketing? So that kind of helps a little bit side curb it. But even when you go sit down with someone, I think the best thing to do is kind of keep it professional. Now, if they decide they want to say something about, can I take you out on dinner again, or would you like to hang out? Be straightforward. No, I came here for business, and that's it. So
it's been, I'm obviously a little bit older, but it is, after so many years of trying so many different methods of things, and being straightforward I never want to create stress for myself. I would rather create, realistic expectations and put those upon myself as well. But I don't know, even you can be straightforward, but I tell you, it's like the try never stops.
Yeah.
It could be 3 years down the road of having a business relationship.
It's the struggle.
But it puts a little bit more stress, I think, on the woman. But we know our place.
Right.
We keep going forward and we do what we have to do. But like I said, it's a gift and a curse at the same time. You're able to get indoors. I'm sure that others cannot. Initially.
Definitely.
And but then at the same time, a lot of the times, if they're not getting what they want in return, or even the date or whatever it may be initially, then that business is lost, and so be it. You
So
go on your
be
way,
it,
but
yeah.
it's lost time. But
I've had few that have actually went that extra mile to hit on me. Most people just keep it business.
Oh, good for you. No, I'm sure it'll come more in the future as you get further in your business. Just be ready for it. It happens, and you just have to know how to handle it.
Is it fair to you to say, if you sense that in a guy who is talking to you, to say, okay, I'd like to meet, I'm going to bring my partner Jim along with me, or just those things right there that say, oh shoot, she's bringing a man with her.
Yeah,
this isn't
definitely.
Gonna, things like that. How would you advise?
I would advise that. Better be safe than sorry. Bring someone along is awesome.
But I'm saying, even if you don't bring them along, just saying that up front, or if this person's only interested in dating, that's a red flag. All right, I'm gonna stop talking to her about business now, because she's got this other guy she's gonna bring. It's just going to totally throw me off my game.
I think it's a good thing.
Yeah, even just saying, hey, if I can't make it, maybe my partner Jamie can, or something like that, and then you can fill people out that way. But I've learned over the years how to kind of weed through things and know who's serious. And
Same
who's not.
here. Yeah.
But it's interesting.
Well, very good discussion this morning. Adella, any closing thoughts for our business owners here this early Thursday morning?
No, I just want to thank everybody for having me.
I love your when you said as far as fear, don't let fear hold you back. Everyone has the fear of failure. You don't know unless you try and get out there. And make it happen.
Fear is so strong. It holds a lot of people back. You have no idea of all the people I talk to that are just so afraid of taking a first step. And I'm like a first step junkie. I'll hold your hand and we're going to take that first step together.
And once you start kind of facing fears, it becomes an adrenaline rush. You want to stand up and be courageous all the time. So make it happen.
Exactly.
All right. Adella Pasos, model and entrepreneur, can help you with marketing in your business. Learn more at adellapasos.com, askadella.com, or brand me at askadella.com. Adella, thank you so much.
Thank you.
You've been listening to That Business Show with Jamie and Kelly, where business becomes show business.
It's time once again for That Business Show with Jamie and Kelly. That Business Show gives a voice to Tampa Bay's entrepreneurial community and highlights our community leaders, aiming to inspire and educate our
Hillsborough traffic tip line 866-545-9595.
This report is brought to you by Unbound. A more peaceful, healthy world happens one person at a time. Around the globe, there are children who dream of helping their families, who hope for the future, and who have a name. Know the person you're helping directly at unbound.org. That's unbound.org.
1250 winds, weather center forecast. Cloud cover from the morning, decreasing into the afternoon. The high today, a little cooler in the mid-70s, 10% chance for an isolated shower or two. Mid-50s for the low tomorrow, mid-70s continue. Then look for those 80s to return through the upcoming weekend. Impact Radio, 1250 wins WHNZ.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie and Kelly on 1250 wins WHNZ. Missed the show? Then head over to TampaBayRadio.com, where all shows are available on demand. Once again, here are your hosts, Jamie and Kelly.
And welcome back to That Business Show with Jamie and Kelly, where business becomes show business. Please connect with us all across social media, Facebook.com/That Business Show. We have a lot of activity on our fan page, too. We put up short video clips during the live show each morning. And also you can find us on Twitter over at That Biz Show. We've changed that. And then the YouTube channel where all the videos are uploaded. We ask that you please subscribe to the YouTube channel and help support entrepreneurism here in the Tampa Bay community or wherever it is that you're listening now that we've got the show posted across multiple podcasting platforms, iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and several other players as well. In this segment, we're going to talk about HUD homes. My specialty is selling real estate, which I am surprised to find more and more that people don't realize I still sell real estate. That's how this show began almost 4 years ago, selling with the Jamie Meloni Real Estate Show. And I specialize in the sale of bank-owned homes, and specifically HUD homes has been a core to my business. And HUD homes are the defaulted government loaned homes, and so HUD is a division of the federal government, Housing and Urban Development. It's been in the news lately with the change in command and the cabinet position being sent over to Dr. Ben Carson, who's going to be heading up the Department of Housing and Urban Development. But as it relates to real estate and realtors, they insure banks, and so a bank is able to make a loan to somebody of a higher risk, and that way you can get into a home. Whereas if HUD did not exist, banks would require 20% down, and it's an overall bad investment for a bank to do a mortgage on a property, because if interest rates are low, you have a fixed rate mortgage, and then if rates rise, they have that money tied up, and then if interest rates rise, then people refinance. And so it's really, a mortgage is really a bad deal for a bank, and so institutions like HUD make it possible for banks to lend money on homes and then take the risk off the banks, because if you default on the loan, then the home then rolls over to the government via an insurance claim, essentially, because that's all this is. It's an insurance for the bank in the event of a default. Now, Kelly used to sell real estate. You were a top producing realtor many, many years ago, I should say.
Not many. Yeah, I'm not that old.
Did you ever sell? Did you ever sell HUD homes?
I think I showed them a couple times. I mean, they were always not in such good condition, you know, so I remember there being a special key or something. It seemed like they were a pain. It wasn't something I usually suggested.
There is a lot of misconceptions on HUD homes, but in short, if you have an FHA loan, and most people, first-time buyers do have an FHA loan. That's a government-insured loan. You only have to put 3.5% down. In a moment, I'll talk to you about how you only put $100 down on homes instead of 3.5%. But yeah, they have that misconception that they are run down, that they are poor quality homes, that they're somehow in a category outside of all the other homes.
Most of those that I did view over the years, they were that way.
And no,
they
many
didn't
of them
look
are.
very nice.
Some of them are, but then foreclosed properties in general are that way.
They've been beaten up, and people take the toilets out of them and, strip everything they can.
They've taken the tubs and the kitchen cabinets and out of some of mine. And it's, they try to salvage every last dollar out of the home, but it comes down to the simple fact that if they can't pay the mortgage, they can't pay for the upkeep of the home.
They're going to take everything they can.
Well, that too, but they can't pay for the upkeep of the home. And so a tiny little roof leak then becomes a complete hole in the roof, which leads to mold inside the property, and everything just falls apart.
Are HUD homes on MLS?
Yes. They're the first place that you can find them are HUDhomestore.com. So that is the site that where HUD lists the properties, HUDhomestore.com. And then they are listed by a local listing broker and put onto the multiple listing service. But realtors don't see the offers, and so sometimes there's some discrepancy between what you'll see in the multiple listing service and the HUD website, because we don't see the offers, and so HUD may have an offer that's been accepted, and it'll show available in the MLS, but it's really not. And so if you're a realtor or a buyer, the core place to go to is HUDhomestore.com to view the availability of the homes out there on the marketplace.
And I know you're not supposed to talk about certain set commissions, but is the commission offered to a buyer's agent? Is it typically lower? I know there's no standard commission. You can't really talk about that. But what is it? Something straight across the board? Is it usually a 5% or is it low? It seems
2 contracts ago, HUD Homes paid 5% commission to the selling agents and 1% to the listing broker. In the last contract, they changed that and made it 3 and 3, but it's up to 3% for a selling agent. And they say up to 3% because you can lower your commission to raise the net offer to the HUD. So HUD selects their offers strictly based on net proceeds to them. And so the things that affect the net proceeds are, of course, the closing costs and then the commissions. And so
it's always as is, correct? There's no
always as is.
No repairs.
Yeah. Always as is. No repairs put into the properties.
But it always seemed like that would be one reason that agents wanted to show and be a part of the HUD Homes, is because a lot of times they were offering 5% to a buyer's agent. But
when I first got into real estate in 2007, this was the first thing I learned about. My broker at Zip Realty told me, if you want to, get some leads, go sit in a HUD home for the weekend, because HUD is listed by a central local listing broker, but it's considered an open listing, and they encourage outside brokerages to market the property and to do an open house. That's changed in this contract, but 2 contracts ago, they were completely open in the sense that anybody could at any time, any realtor could, go over and sit in the home and do an open house. And yeah, everyone was attracted to them because they were 5% commission.
Yeah, no, I don't remember a lot of them. As I said, I didn't have that much experience with the HUD Homes, but I do remember that.
Yeah.
Because,
And people would, realtors, to give their buyers a better chance at getting the properties, could then reduce their commission in the offer system. Instead of taking 5%, they may say 4 or 3, thus raising the net proceeds to HUD. But with realtor commissions now at 3%, it's not so much of a game in play, I should say, because realtors typically demand a 3% commission on a sale. And so HUDHomestore.com is where you go to find these properties. Now, one thing that's really awesome about HUD Homes is that you can purchase them for $100 down. And what that means is, instead of putting 3.5% down, which is typical on an FHA loan, you can replace the 3.5% down with $100. Now, it does not mean that you come to closing with just $100, but it means that you can replace that down payment and thus greatly reduce your cash to close by doing that. All homes in Florida that are FHA insurable qualify for $100 down. Did you ever have anybody ever ask you about $100 down?
No, I did have some people earlier on in my real estate career that went through like a first-time home buyer program where they had to go through a class and were able to get some funding that way. But with the $100 down program, does that then whatever should have been down, or does that just then go on top?
No,
how is that?
All that is every type of loan program has some form of down payment, and VA doesn't. VA is a 0% or 0 down a mortgage, but 3.5% down is the down payment for an FHA loan, and so instead of 3.5% down, they replace that with $100 down. Now you have closing costs and mortgage costs and other costs on top of the transaction, and so you're not going to walk to closing with just $100, but it does reduce your cash to close.
Well, it's better than 3.5% depending on what the sales price is. Is that only for certain properties in certain areas?
It depends on the insurability of the property. The property
insurability.
It means, when I talk about insurability, remember I said earlier that an FHA loan insures a bank against a default. It's not. I'm not talking about property insurance, property and casualty insurance. I'm talking about government insurance on the property. And so when HUD acquires the property after a bank defaults, or after a mortgagor defaults on the property, then they do an assessment of the property. They go in and do an appraisal on it, because the bank, gets paid off by HUD, and then they take the property back over and they sell it to reclaim, part of, what they lost. When they do the appraisal, they go in there and they can see the condition of the property at that point, and they have certain guidelines that the home has to meet. For instance, if the AC is not working and there's no heat, that's a requirement to get an FHA loan. So they'll say, this is a lender required repair. It's a $4,000 cost, or there's a hole in the roof. So they're looking for the certain safety and livability conditions in that. And if it exceeds now $10,000 in repairs, it's considered an uninsurable property, meaning that you can't get an FHA loan on the property because it does not meet the base guidelines. It used to be a $5,000 limit, but now it's moved to $10,000. And so when I say insurable, it means get the ability to get an FHA loan. If the property is FHA uninsurable, you can't get an FHA loan on the property because it's in too poor of a condition. It does not meet the minimum lender requirements for an FHA mortgage. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so then, yeah, I think so. And then you wouldn't qualify for the $100.
No, if the property is not FHA insurable, it's the FHA or the $100 down program does not apply.
Well, so then any home really that is up to par, that has working components in it, could qualify then for that.
Probably about 70% of the homes, I would say, qualify for the $100 down program. Now, again, they have to be HUD owned, and you have to be using an FHA loan. You can't. This doesn't apply to general market properties.
Okay, has to be HUD home.
Yeah, you find these at HUDhomestore.com. Again, HUDhomestore.com. These are properties that are currently owned by the federal government, and you can replace the 3.5% down with the $100.
And I don't think I ever knew that.
Most people don't, and that's I teach classes to realtors. It's part of my listing agreement with the Department of Housing and Urban Development is to do the outreach and the training for real estate professionals. The radio makes it easy because I can do a segment from time to time on this, and then I report up to HUD. Trained, probably 3,000-4,000 different listeners and people throughout the community, on the radio. And so, whereas other realtors have to struggle to gather a room of 10 people to do a training, I can just sit here and say, all right, let's. We don't have a guest in studio right now. Let's talk about HUD properties for a few minutes.
We did. You had that the workshop that you did a month ago, some time ago. I'm never great with time, but actually, it's been a long time since I've heard any of that information. It was informative to sit through it.
Yeah, it takes me really an hour and a half to go through this in great detail. It's a lot.
What are you laughing for, Gary? What's so funny over there?
You're saying you're not great with time.
Now,
I'm not.
If the property exceeds $10,000 in repairs, you can do an FHA 203K loan on the property and get $100 down in that situation. A 203K loan, which is available on any property in any market, is a rehab loan. And so you take the cost of the property and then whatever the repairs are, you can finance the cost of the repairs on top of the acquisition price, and then you can get the repairs done after closing. The key thing to remember about 2 or 3K loans though is you got to find a property that's priced below fair market value, to where when you add the cost of the repairs on top of the acquisition price, the after repaired value is still greater than the cost, or still meets the loan to value requirements of the mortgage, which is 96.5%. And so if you got a property that's worth $100,000 after repairs, and they've got it priced at $100,000 but it needs $30,000 in repairs, and that's not going to work. You need to pick up that property for like $65,000 or so to meet the requirements, because 65 and 30 is around 95.
Make all the numbers work.
Yeah, make all the numbers work. And so you can get $100 down on those homes at HUDhomestore.com. And again, that criteria being $10,000 in lender required repairs.
Yeah, and it sounds like even if you're working with an agent, a lot of times people think if they're working with an agent as far as buying a home, that they can't qualify or they're not going to get as good of a deal. Most of the time, the commissions are all wrapped in or are part of things. So
with HUD Homes, you have to use a realtor. You can't go to HUDhomestore.com and buy a property without the assistance of a real estate agent. So you've got to you got to have a realtor to do that. And yeah, I mean, as a buyer,
there's a misconception. I think a lot of the times buyers think, and I just to try to clarify it. And I don't know how things have changed over the last 4 or 5 years that I've been out of it, but it always seems like buyers thought they get a better deal without, and everybody should be represented.
Well, they try to negotiate down the commission with the seller without the real estate agent. A lot of times, though, the buyer is just not as knowledgeable as what a real estate agent is. Does not have the same connections and the negotiability, the negotiating talent.
I say negotiability. Is that a word? It sounds like something I would say.
I don't think that's an actual word. I think I just made that up right there.
Negotiability.
But there are plenty of investors out there who do a great job on their own without real estate professionals. But if you're a first-time buyer, you don't understand the market.
Investors are different. But I mean, just for the common, for someone that's buying a home and hasn't, they're going to buy and sell and haven't done that. How often? What's the average now? Every 5 years?
Home turns over?
Right.
Yeah, about 5 to 7
right.
years.
So, if you're only buying a home every 5 to 7 years, then you need representation.
HUD also offers a program called the Good Neighbor Next Door program, whereby teachers, firefighters, emergency responders can purchase homes for 50% off the appraised value, and I'll talk a little bit more about that when we come back from the break. You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie and Kelly, where business becomes show business.
Are you in need of new flooring or ready to tackle that home remodeling project? Then contact Yeager & Company Incorporated, a family-owned, state-certified general contracting business with over 70 years of experience and the recipient of the Angie's List Super Service Award for the last 8 years in multiple categories. Yeager & Company comes to you with their shop-at-home flooring sales service, and their hardwood flooring refinishing is the very best in the Bay. Kitchen and bath design featuring American-made, well-born cabinets, and all work is done by employees, not subcontractors. Learn more at YeagerFlooring.com.
If you've been following That Business Show on Facebook and Twitter, you may have noticed the quality of some of our images. That's because one of our sponsors is pro photographer Rick Taseda, a member of the Professional Photographers of America. You can view his extensive work by going to his website at ricktaseda.com or call him for an appointment to chat about your photography needs at 813-641-4757. That's 813-641-4757. Rick Taseda Visuals. Call him for your next event or project.
Savvy business owners utilize technology to connect with customers, communicate among teams, and collaborate with partners. Even with advances in technology, you all know it's not infallible. Where do you turn when your technology starts working against you? Who do you depend on to keep your team productive? Don't wait until your technology fails you. Get ahead of the crisis and contact the professionals at Alpha Computing Solutions so they can show you how to keep your technology running smoothly. Visit them online at www.alphacomputing.com.
Who doesn't have a smartphone these days? And of course, there's an app for everything. Well, almost everything. That's why the folks at Popcorn Apps started developing mobile applications. They saw people like you with genius ideas, unable to make those thoughts a reality. They develop applications for tens of thousands of dollars less than you'll find anywhere else, and will turn your idea into a reality in a matter of just a few months. Think you're not ready? Think again. They are your one-stop shop for mobile application development. See them at popcornapps.com with a K in popcorn, or call them at 727-415-6705 for your free consultation and pop your kernel of an idea into $1 million business and a world changer starting today.
Teresa Turner is a certified public accountant and the founder of Tax Happens, a boutique-style CPA firm providing small businesses and individuals with hands-on, personalized tax and accounting services. Although we would love to tell you how happy their clients are, we would like you to see for yourself. Tax Happens has 21 Google reviews and a 4.8-star Google rating, 17 Yelp reviews, and a 5-star Yelp rating, 38 Facebook reviews, and a 4.9-star Facebook rating. What sets Tax Happens apart is number 1, upfront pricing, 2, clear deadlines, 3, personally available year-round, and number 4, a willingness to empower clients to do as much or as little as they desire. Visit taxhappens.com for more information.
Have you ever tried to buy a home for your family only to find out that you don't qualify for a mortgage loan? You thought that after 20 years as a customer of your bank, they would help you when you needed it the most, right? Unfortunately, the banks of today are not the banks of our parents and grandparents, and our relationships with them just don't matter anymore. My name is Frank Cotto, and I'm the president of the Lincoln Lending Group. We all may need a bank, but we also need a Frank. And that's what I'm here to do for you today. Lincoln Lending Group will waive all of your lending fees, which include your mortgage, application fee, your underwriting fee, processing fees, and any bank points. Just call 813-MORTGAGE. You drop the E, and we'll drop the fee.
In an age when the good and the better vie for attention, it is the best that stands out. The best of Tampa Bay from Proudly Florida is the love story for the city of Tampa, celebrating success, sharing achievements, a tribute to enterprise and community spirit. Let Proudly Florida showcase your business to your city, your nation, and the world. For more information, email info@proudlyflorida.com and be sure to visit proudlyflorida.com.
Crash on northbound I-75 north of Dr. King has all lanes blocked at Dr. King. They'll force you off the interstate. So as you can imagine, very heavy traffic on Dr. King, State Road 60, the Selman Expressway, northbound 301. Also seeing big delays on westbound I-4 from Plant City to 75 and southbound 75 from just past Bruceby down. See traffic problems? Call the injury firm of Abrahamson, New York, Hillsborough. Traffic tip line 866-545-9595.
This report is brought to you by Mothers Against Drunk Driving. Mothers Against Drunk Driving supports victims of drunk driving, drug driving, and underage drinking at no charge. Call our 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org. That's MADD.org.
Today, some sea fog early, then clearing with a high 76. Cold front moves in for tonight, mostly clear, low 55. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, high 76.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie and Kelly on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Missed the show? Then head over to TampaBayRadio.com, where all shows are available on demand. Once again, here are your hosts, Jamie and Kelly.
And welcome back to That Business Show with Jamie and Kelly, where business becomes show business. Doing a talk on HUD homes, a specialty of mine. I'm a realtor with Coldwell Banker, specializing in the sale of foreclosed properties, and HUD being one of the clients that I've worked with now for 6 years. And coming in or heading into that break there, I was talking about one of the other programs, which is the Good Neighbor Next Door program. And it's a good idea. It's a good program. Problem with this is there's just not enough inventory to satisfy this program. So I'm not really sure why they market this program and don't make enough inventory available for this. But, from time to time, there comes some homes onto the market. So you should be aware of this, especially if you have a long-term outlook for purchasing a property, so you can keep an eye on the HUD website. So if you're a teacher, firefighter, or emergency responder, HUD has a program called Good Neighbor Next Door. And what this means is you can buy a property that is HUD owned for 50% off the appraised value. The price that HUD sets on the property is the appraised value. We talked about that in the last segment. When they acquire the properties, they do an appraisal, and that's where the price comes from. And so if they price the property at $100,000, you can get it for $50,000.
As long as you have to be a good neighbor, though.
You have to be a teacher, firefighter, emergency responder, which they classify as good neighbors.
I was just, okay, so yeah, what classifies you as a good neighbor?
Those categories right there: teacher,
firefighter.
Yeah, and there's probably a couple other categories, but it's mostly it's public service.
So it's just assumed you're going to be a good neighbor if you fit in one of those.
Yeah, they give you that rank simply because you are one of those types of people. But nonetheless, to find these homes at HUDHomestore.com, select the state that you're in, and then there's a category that says buyer type. Select Good Neighbor Next Door. Now, I just did it here on the website, and there's not any homes available in Florida right now. If I do this, sporadically, 2 or 3 or 4 will pop up. But like I said, you got to have a long-term outlook because they don't put enough inventory onto the marketplace. But it's a great program for people that are mindful of this and who are not needing to buy something right now. They can just wait for a year or 2 or 3 or whatever till something pops up. You can get a great deal on the property.
Well, you said right now inventory is really low, right?
That on top of that compounds the problem because, yes, there's just not enough inventory on the marketplace.
Which is a good thing for the economy, right? And I mean, we're saying that there's not as many foreclosed homes.
Well, it's not a healthy economy right now in the real estate market because at least in our market, a lot of the properties that should be coming on and off the market are tied up in rental situations because the hedge funds that came into the marketplace in 2012 when rents were at all-time highs and values were at all-time lows, they scooped up thousands upon thousands of properties. And so all the new Tampa homes, all the homes in Southeast Hillsborough are tied up in rental situations.
Well, it fixed the foreclosure problem years ago, instead of these properties sitting there abandoned.
Okay, so I went to the website and I'm looking at it and I see a house that I would be interested in, okay? And then I'm reading it. It says eligible bidders, all bidders. What does that mean, Jamie?
It means a person who is either a person who's going to live in it for as a primary residence, as an owner-occupant, or an investor can bid. And so anybody on the marketplace can bid. When HUD puts the properties onto the marketplace, if it's considered to be insurable, we talked about that in the last segment, the first 10 days, or actually I should say the first 15 days on the market, only owner-occupants can bid. So if it was within the first 15 days and it was FHA insurable, it would say owner-occupants. If they did not get an acceptable offer within that window on day 16, it'll say all bidders. That means you as an investor can bid on the property. And they define owner-occupants as people that are going to live in the property as their primary residence for 1 year. That is the standard that HUD uses to distinguish between investors and owner-occupants. And so there's 4 different categories of buyers that HUD has different categories for, but the nonprofits and then the government agencies are the 2 that have their own NEID numbers and can bid on behalf of themselves. But the general public will either fall into the category of owner-occupant or an investor. So
and HUD doesn't typically negotiate. You need to always submit your highest and best offer.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. The selling agents, or I should say the listing agents, do not see the offers. All the offers go into the system. There is a bid clock set on each of the properties. The first 10 days on the marketplace are a sealed bid period, given that is an FHA insurable property, and then they'll review the offers on the 11th business day. The offer with the highest Net proceeds to HUD will win. It doesn't matter if it's cash or a 203K loan or conventional or VA. You could have a cash offer that's a dollar less than a loan dependent offer. They have to go with the loan dependent offer by law because it results in $1 more to the government. So that's just a state law or a federal law.
Now, a conventional lender can give you a 203K loan?
Yes. Yeah. Any lender out there. We work a lot with Frank Cotto, Lincoln Lending Group. You can get conventional, you can get FHA, a lot of different stuff out there on the marketplace.
That's funny. That's who I'm on the phone with after I saw this property. I'm like, okay, I think I found something.
I'll be sure to mention my name. But we got to wrap this up. Like I said, I can talk for an hour and a half, 2 hours on this. There's still a lot more to know about that.
I don't think you could be capped at that uptown. You can talk more than that, I think.
But that's good information for the general buying public out there. Again, HUDHomestore.com. If I can answer any more questions, feel free to shoot me a message. Use the contact form over at TampaBayRadio.com. Also, please connect with us all across social media. And if you'd like to come on the program as a guest, please visit TBSinterview.com. You've been listening to That Business Show with Jamie and Kelly, where business becomes show business.
The proceeding was a